And that you can always look back at it later, or I can share it with your team. Anyways, let's go.
We don't seem to be doing
We need Diva then, though.
Okay, so you're going Winston Diva.
Pay attention, Grande.
One second. So you're playing Winston Diva, Lucio, Far Mercy, and Tracer.
Pay attention, Grande.
So one of the things you'll know beforehand now is that because you have no Discord orb, you're gonna have like a tough time getting like aggressive dive with your tanks. You'll mostly rely on your Mercy's damage jump on Pharah. So initially in this comp, without a Zen and with Pharah Mercy, you know that you're not gonna get a lot of damage boost, and you're probably not going to get a whole lot of healing because Mercy will try to pocket Pharah a lot. So you'll mostly be looking as a tank at like cleaning up kills and cleaning up the damage that Pharah does.
Right side. Big help.
Okay, so now I want to see what the enemy is running.
When you dive,
They have Reinhardt, Pharah.
They have death fall.
So you see, you saw Zarya and you probably reckon Pharah Mercy. So you don't know what off support they're running.
Ryan is off. Zarya low, no bubble.
Okay, so they're running Lucio as well. Okay, I'll just rewind a few seconds. So basically what you know, like just watching about this fight, they have Reinhardt, Zarya, Pharah Mercy, Lucio, and Tracer. So which one of those would you think is a good dive target? With the comp you're running?
Mercy, I guess, or Reinhardt, or Zarya without personal bubble. I think the Zarya or Mercy in this case.
Okay, well Mercy's in the air with Pharah.
Wait, yeah, Pharah, yeah, I forgot about that. So Zarya without bubble.
So Zarya, yeah. So, and maybe Reinhardt even, but yeah, Zarya without the bubble is the easiest dive target here. What the enemy is running is pretty strong against dive, because they try to negate a good dive target onto you.
Zarya low, no bubble.
Get him.
So you lose your own Tracer, you go for Zarya. Because this fight went wrong, unlucky.
Weapon fight.
I think I will die soon.
Maybe you should go the Widow. They have a Pharah.
Let's see if you swap some things.
Their comp is not very.
So what do you think went wrong in the execution of that fight?
Well, I was out of position because I don't know, Monkey jumped away. Yeah, here. You see, I'm trying to take a cover.
Yeah.
From Zarya's left click. And now something booked Zarya and Reinhardt just tanked for her.
Yeah. So like if you're looking, oh, that's a bit much.
We need.
So if you're looking at this, right, are you ready to dive now? Like where you're standing?
I have no metrics.
Exactly. But just by positioning, do you think that you're in a good position to dive right now?
This master is, if I will, you see, I'm trying to hide from Zarya's left click.
But do you think
So I
like,
don't know.
so before you want to dive, what would you be looking to do against their comp?
Sorry?
So if you want to dive against their composition, what would you like? You want to focus Zarya, that's a good call. But like how would you like to engage a dive? Like do you think the positioning that you guys are in as a team right now is good to start a dive, or?
I don't know.
Yeah. What I would advise you to do is, because they have Reinhardt Zarya, they're very limited in their mobility, and they're very limited once they're attacked from different angles. So I'm going to use Blue Cross for your team. Your Tracer's on the flank, just behind here, basically. You and Monkey are now up front, and your Pharah is in the air, I think on the left side somewhere, like sort of around here-ish in the air. Enemy team, however, is positioned up front, but because they have Reinhardt Zarya, when they're like holding such a tight space, they're pretty strong if people are fighting them there. So what you would like to do with your own Winston Diva, these two, is to like have one person fight on the left side, like around here for instance, and then have one person maybe go from main or something like that. But the thing is, if you like say the Pharah is like in the air here, Trace is attacking from the right side, and then Diva shooting Zarya from like the left side, the one I just made across. Basically, she doesn't really stand a good chance there, but in this case, you guys all decide to dive them from up front, which gives them like a lot of space to just fall back towards around here to their healers, where Mercy starts healing them up. And because you didn't have different angles on them, Zarya and Reinhardt could just very easily basically walk away from the fight that you're trying to bring to them. So attacking Zarya in this case is your best call, but you didn't really execute it very ideally because you're fighting with like Winston Diva, but then you're fighting them like up front, which is like where Winston Diva are not very strong. Reinhardt Zarya is a lot stronger than that. Does that make sense, or? Okay. Let's continue rolling. We saw this already.
Weapon point, weapon point.
It might have been
weapon
Lucia
point.
that
I
booped him,
think I will
but
die
anyways, the
Maybe
Mercy
scroll
was
the
healing
way-
the
go the
Zarya, so it
way
was
they have
pretty hard to
far.
dive regardless of whether your Lucio booped him or not.
Their comp is not very, you know, mobile, so you should have free reign other than Tracer.
Should I go Zen?
Could do if Lucy doesn't work out too much.
Tracer's top right.
Yeah,
So now you're in a bit of a weird spot, because I think you swapped your
She
Tracer
blinked
to
out.
Widowmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And Arma's asking whether you should play Zen. In this case, I would say, yeah, you should play Zen, because... so you're running 4 Mercy with Widowmaker, right? And 2 very mobile dive tanks. Who is Lucia exactly, like, enabling? Who is he helping?
Himself.
Yeah, no one in particular, really. Whereas if you're playing Zen, you can get a Discord Orb on, so it should help your dive tanks clean some kills up. And on top of that, if like Widow or Mercy gets a bit low in the air or in the back, you can just orb them and just chill for 3 seconds until they're full HP, basically. So Arma decided to stay on Lucio, but because he's not really enabling anyone right now,
she didn't rest. Tracer here,
that's
Tracer
good. So you got the first pick on Mercy, on the Pharah, sorry.
here.
Okay, let's rewind for a bit, because
Q, come on.
so Winston's diving in.
She's one.
She didn't rest.
That's a bit unlucky. I can go over this with Beastmaster, but his jump here wasn't very good because he used his resource to get onto point, and then he was just caught in like the nasty spot.
Kill the She's on the left, on the left.
So you're now equal basically without your mech.
Well, yeah, I tried to follow the call.
Yeah.
No.
Of Mercy.
We're not.
It's really important that you. I know you wanna flank with Farah, but you need to stay above the tanks because I cannot heal them. I have to leave you or the tanks. I don't like it.
I kinda think running Sun would be better, but
Yeah. Call's being made for Zen again.
it's fine, it's fine. I'm dead.
Okay, it's a reset or a res.
Where is your dad?
Just stay behind you, just behind you, just behind you. Where I am.
Okay, so this is just good matrixing your Mercy and it's all good. Nice.
Okay. Let's go then.
I'm gonna boop the Rhine, No, oh,
Okay.
they bubble.
So we're kind of doing the same thing again. Look,
They're in a bubble.
we're funneling
Yeah.
into them, where they're like very strong, because then they can get all the splash damage in.
I barrage,
They're shot
I
that
barrage,
probably.
I'm gonna barrage.
Tracer is on me behind. I'm dead.
No, wait, no, you're not. Wait.
Rhine is low,
Yeah.
Rhine is
Yeah,
low.
she is.
So now we're kind of doing the same thing. We're funneling into the Reinhardt and Zarya, and if they're fighting up close, they're pretty
She
strong.
didn't even use grab.
Maybe we should invite Beast to this, by the way.
You could do it, yeah, but I can also review his own footage some other time.
Single beat.
Okay.
Yeah, there's.
Just watching his thing from his POV is just easier.
I still think that we need to run.
So yeah, like
I don't know. Okay. I'll go then.
So you could have done like a couple things here. Like you made eventually make some switches in terms of hero pools and whatnot. But if you wanted to stay with like Lucio there and try to combat the Far Mercy, one of the things you can try to do is initially focus the tanks down. So like you should run out Zarya a lot, and then at some point Mercy will have to drop in order to heal the what's it called? The tanks. And as soon as the Mercy leaves to heal the tanks, one of the things you can do against Far Mercy is then send your own dive tanks to get the Far Mercy. In that case, you both save your shift, of course, your jump, and preferably you want to save your E and some Matrix. But if you're dealing with Far Mercy and you don't really have a direct counter, like you don't have a Widowmaker or something, it's quite reliable to just focus tanks initially without expending too much resources on your own team, and then as soon as the Mercy goes to heal the tanks, you can kill the Pharah. Or the other way around, the Mercy just full-on pockets the Pharah, in that case you can kill the tanks for free. In this case, you were kind of funneling into them, which is, like I said, not ideal.
Don't say good round unless you win.
I will.
I mean, there's a
Beast being
to
Beast.
dive.
Yep.
Okay, I think last time we won.
What
I
do
mean
you want to run?
that we should
So you're going
Wanna
with...
go
on the.
What do you want me to run?
We have really to train this May walls. So.
Oh yeah, I remember. So you're going with May, Doomfist, Lucia Moira.
I'm only gonna be blocking one side of the point. I'm gonna say like if it's
So just a bit of an obvious question, but
I'll
like,
give them
left
tele-
side.
what
if
would the
it's left
strongest
one,
thing be you can do
it's
with your
from
comp?
my perspective, okay?
What would the
So
strongest
left,
thing you can do with
right.
your comp be?
I'm just gonna-
Just sit on point.
Sit on point, yeah. You've got May and Reaper who are very good at like
which
close quarter combat.
side of the point I wall off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually call when we like win in fight.
We're
If we can
against
push
left,
only
right?
to the choke,
Yeah,
never further.
we go straight main.
Watch out, we don't have a Bridget yet. So,
Skip
the
for a bit.
swaps.
I'm gonna boost once we reach the choke point.
No, don't boost, don't boost, don't
Why?
boost, don't boost.
Don't
If
boost
they
it.
go the same
No, no,
strat,
no,
I'm gonna
no.
block them already here.
Don't boost. They have a Reaper me, they have Reaper me.
Okay, so you're walling them off here, this is
nice,
fine.
nice.
The bubble here is a bit early. Reason being,
They have Reaper me.
okay, you can tell me why.
Okay,
Why is the bubble early?
I thought he will push a bit. Like the wall failed,
Yeah.
so it will be damaged there. So I thought he will be like from other side of this little wall. I don't know, choke. So it will be free damage. I don't
Okay.
know.
In this case, I wouldn't really fancy going for bubble. The simple reason being, since you like can only fight on point, you want to use all your resources to fight on point, and that includes your own bubbles. In this case, the bubble's a bit early. Beastmaster, I don't know if he like tries to make something for bubble or whether he wanted to charge in regardless. But since you have like all the positioning on point already with May and Doomfist, because you walled them off in order to get the point, you can basically just wait and fight on point and save all your resources until someone comes to contest.
What
the hell? What the hell was that?
I'm
So
going
this
for a
is
punch.
fine. Now as you can see, like now they're kind of pushing. You used your self bubble like perfectly fine just when they're brawling on point, but now you don't have a team bubble when they're going on to point the enemy team.
Wait.
I'm
So
going
get a
for
kill,
punch.
that's nice.
Nice.
I'm punching.
And what the fuck? Who got my bubble there? I was like,
Let's
what?
rewind.
I'm punching him.
I think might have been
Punching
May.
him.
No, I don't know.
Run low, run low,
Weird.
run low.
I kept the point.
Somebody.
Come back. You're very low on health.
So in this case, the enemy team kind of made the mistake of not really pushing as a team. Like they were all kind of standing in the opening there without really full on going in, which was kind of their doom, if you will. It did cause you to win the fight, but like what I will still say, like you should have saved your bubbles for when they went on to point. Dana of McCree, okay.
Main. They're main.
So still, your comp is completely focused around fighting on point. So you can stand a bit on the edge here, but like you have to save all your resources
they
still
have
for
a
when you're
fire
fighting on
now.
point. Okay, so
So
they're
they
far.
have the whole time of error. If you don't get hit by her, you don't have barrage.
On the right,
Jump,
yeah, on
jump.
the right, on the right.
Okay, right side.
It's now I've got the same situation again. You used your bubble like 5 seconds ago.
Hit by her.
It's a bit early, which wasn't really needed. Especially because they had regrouped for a while now, you know they were bound to push
On
in.
the right.
Okay, right
This
side.
self bubble is good,
Let them come in.
Oh, okay.
and the enemy is a
I
bit
think they saw
reluctant to
you.
push, but they should have pushed by now already.
Yeah, get him.
And this is good now, like, it's a bit lucky that the enemy actually waited for like 5 seconds, which gave you your bubble back. But this bubble itself was good, like, you wait until they go in, you wall them off, and then you bubble your right hand as he pins. This is like good team play. Beastmaster is distracted by the fire a bit.
McCree here. McCree low,
Take the
McCree low.
point.
McCree low.
Cannot heal you there.
So now you guys are overextending a bit. Like I said, your comp is very good at fighting on point, but once you have to leave it, they have McCree and Farmer, so they have such a ranged advantage.
He was shooting me. He, thing. I had to knock him out.
And the Zara got out with
So I
pretty
wouldn't-
decent
so-
charges. You might be kind of close to
They're
ground.
incoming again.
Yep. So you're surviving for now, which is
I'm getting
good.
yelled.
I'm charging back into point. I got pooped out. I need healing so bad. Thank you. You can just fucking shoot.
Fire's behind us.
I don't know how much you communicate with Beastmaster, but one of the things that's always good to keep your Reinhardt like updated of is when your team bubble is online. And for instance, in this case, you could say, "Hey, get back, dude! Like we cannot fight there."
Oh,
I faded.
You get shattered. Far picks up 2 kills. Might have barrage soon.
Get to 99. We can get it.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna reach.
Okay, so now I have to maybe consider some things here, comp a bit. I don't know what your ult percentages are, but
Okay, what else? Yeah.
against their
Yeah,
comp, because they have Far Mercy and you have literally got no range essentially, you might have to consider some swaps by now. Simply because May and Reaper or May and Doomfist are not very strong at retaking, especially against the Far Mercy, because then they will just shoot you down for free and farm you for
No,
free.
they use grab.
Okay, so by now, I would have definitely told PK to switch until it can maybe use his ult first. But you have to start thinking about what comp you want to run against them. Like, I don't know what you guys are comfortable with, but you have to probably make some swaps here, because the enemy Farmers is completely uncontested, and the enemy McCree will probably...
Yeah, Pharaoh
too much
Widowmaker
resistance.
is actually our strongest DPS
Far
combo.
Widowmaker.
Or of Genji Widowmaker.
Okay. Well, either way, you're probably running a Mercy, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you'd ask like Vera to probably swap because she doesn't really have any ult charge. You'd ask PK to already swap. And do you keep the Lucian in that case, or do you go for Zen?
You're asking me? I don't know.
Yeah.
For what?
Okay.
For what? We have like, if we have like Fire and Widowmaker.
Yeah, like, do you want to go Pharah Widowmaker here, or?
We will keep this comp.
Yeah, but what would you think would you normally want to do against this?
Usually pick our Fire.
Yeah.
And pick Widowmaker. And with Fire we usually pick Mercy.
So you want Pharah, Tilly will probably play Widowmaker. Ever will play Mercy. And then you probably have Arma on Zen, right? Or do you keep the Lucian in that?
Yes.
Okay, so eventually you want to swap comp, but you kind of want to keep your like relevant ultimates, right? So Tilnet can maybe stay on the Mei for like one fight and try to get his Blizzard off, and either maybe win a fight or just get some ultimates out of the enemy team. But seeing as there's 3 people here that have very low ult charge and that should probably swap off by now, I mean, it's not your like individual mistake, but as a team, I would have recommended that you swap some things drastically here, because your composition is very bad at retaking a point against the enemy composition, because they can just shoot you down from range without ever being contested, and there's no way you're going to eventually heal through that. Sorry?
What will happen actually?
Yeah, I know. I saw the video.
They used
Right,
both
the
tanks.
They used Shatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thanks.
They have McCree, Pharah, probably Valk.
And Lucian.
I think they used it. Didn't they?
Yeah, we need to speed it now.
This is kind of okay.
We need to speed boost and
Okay, so now it's kind of unfortunate that you guys were a bit reluctant to actually push. Like, it seemed a bit hesitant. Your bubbles were fine, like you got your charge and whatnot, but because you didn't really push in aggressively enough as a team, you don't have bubble rotation for when you're actually moving through now. So, like I said, it's not really your individual mistake, but try to save your bubbles for when you actually engage, and like your team really has to go hardcore and quick.
I can't read Beast's thoughts if he's gonna be pussy in this fight or finally do something.
Yeah, but like just like general team advice, with the comp you have to be very quick to get onto point, and you have to maybe use some resource to get onto there.
I don't have enough.
Like I said, it's not your individual mistake, but just as a team, you need to be way quicker here.
Reset now.
Because basically, you were kind of standing still in the choke for a bit, then you used both bubbles, and then you therefore just have free barrage.
Okay.
That's barrage down.
They will have McCree and Mercy and Lucio left.
Lucia not yet, I don't think.
Wait, why going high ground? Come here.
This bubble's kind of fine.
Stupid.
I mean, you'll get it back by the
Okay,
time
we
you
need
get
to
to the
speed now.
choke. Like 4, 3.
I'm not yet there.
So basically, by the time you're actually going in, you have it back again. This was kind of okay.
Go.
This is looking much better. Like, in this case, you guys all seem to win through as a team, and you use your bubble and got some charge.
one.
I think 2 people fall behind and get picked, yeah.
I died.
What? The Pharah above us.
Unlucky. It's time to wipe quickly again, yeah. I can't really see what happened to Vera and PK, but from what I could see from your end and with Lucia and Reinhardt, you guys were moving through correctly. Like,
You can see.
you speed amped, you shielded, used the bubble on Reinhardt, got 60 charge, and basically
Yeah,
got
we
to
need to
point
be very
using the
quick,
Mei
very
wall.
decisive.
So that was pretty good. Unlucky that 2 people got picked, but I could not see what happened there.
Farah will have barrage, I think.
Yeah, okay.
There's a good chance Farah's close again, yeah.
Speed us in. No.
Sweet Graviton.
You like it?
Yeah. The move itself is good, but like,
We're all dead.
it's unlucky that they counter-grabbed. But I don't know what ultimate combos you
we
had.
grabbed at the same point. At the same second, I mean.
Yeah. I think your best combination would have been to either let PK use his ultimate, or to have Mei really close and freeze everyone while you swing into with Reinhardt's hammer, but like,
I
It's
thought
lucky that they
that
counter
he was
grab.
following, so it was just unlucky.
yeah. Like, I can't hear your comms because I know you oftentimes don't record your own mic, but you can always ask
got
like,
grabbed.
are you ready for Grav? Or something like that. And I mean, this was like 99.99, but
sit
it's
on
always
the
good
right
to communicate
side.
that stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna grab
called?
this fight.
Yeah, okay.
So, I always call grab if I'm gonna use it in this fight, or like, I'm using grab, and
Yeah.
I just couldn't know
Basically through that.
that
Okay.
they
I think
got
if you lose this one,
counter
you need to
grabbed.
swap off the
Yeah.
rest.
But I mean,
Oh.
I think
I don't think that was a problem. It's just
in like the first round, you guys kind of had like your comp was okay, but you didn't really execute it well enough maybe to win the round. But in the second round, you guys just stuck on a like non-optimal comp for too long.
messy engagements.
Yeah, but we're missing it because they
This round
already
you're
had
actually going
all
to win.
ultimates online.
Does that have to do with it?
I think we should try
Because
to
he
retake
cannot get anything done if he keeps dying.
So now it's being reviewed again. Doomfist can't do anything against Farah Mercy and McCree here.
No. It's like, can you pause, please?
Yeah.
It's a plan. It's like a small strat we got for this point. So Beastmaster is on
Haven't.
Hammond, Tilnet on Widowmaker, PK on Doomfist, right?
Yeah.
So the plan is Beastmaster are going in and press his control, I guess. So he's whipping them
Up.
off the ground.
Yeah.
Because usually people have Orisa, they won't have a shield. So Tilnet by this time take the position on a high ground from the right side of the point on these little pillars, and it will be just easy headshots for him. So easy picks, 1 or 2, or at least 1 pick and 1 damage tank. And Doomfist just continues to do the same thing. He just press his control and Tilnet just keep doing control.
Like the uppercut.
She hit us all. On the left, going on the left.
Okay.
In position. Down the left, moving in.
Okay, so now there's one thing you need to tell Beastmaster, which is that he's going very deep. Hammond has like insane mobility, but you need to let him know how far you can go or when you can go. Because in this case he was going in.
On the right.
And now you're trying to like make up for it. But like by the time you actually get to him, you've used half of your matrix, your shift and your micro missiles. So you're very low on resource, and he used some as well.
Just back, come back.
We will
Lost Farah, that's unlucky.
not make it.
They're jumping off, that's fine.
Farah.
But in this case,
Because we lost Mercy.
yeah, and then Doomfist, so that's fine. The reset here is fine, but like
we are like, I don't know, we are not doing anything in this round. The only one our role is to just move people, and I'm just casually farming my unit, so nothing wrong with me, missed.
so you got the Farah Mercy down now, it's time to go in. This is kind of okay, like, he got hooked. But
I can make it out.
Bring the shield or something.
in this case, once again, you try to follow Beastmaster for a bit, and his like mobility is very strong as Hammond, but you need to let him know like how far you can go or whether like you can be with him or not. Because in this case, you're kind of low on HP, around 200, and you're basically stuck behind enemy lines again. You just got your micro missiles back, and your shift is on cooldown, and your matrix is down. So you have to tell Beastmaster that you can't really go as deep as he wants. You lose 2 people.
Ow.
And then you lose your mech. It's
This
unlucky.
far is farming us so hard. It's insane.
And what's new?
Bottom left.
Yeah, well, then leave them.
Like I said, I can't hear your comms there, but in some cases here, it might be better to not follow Beastmaster if he's going too deep, because he has his own like self shield and his mobility. So Hammond is very reliable to get out. Oh, I skipped a bit.
So what should I do as deep in this comp?
I mean, you can probably go in with Hammond, but like in this case, you need to let him know how far you can go. Sometimes you just cannot follow him, and you have to say it to him. But in this case, like you're trying to follow him, which in itself is good, following your tank. But then he either rolls out or gets hooked out, and then you're stuck there behind enemy lines without any like cooldowns to use.
Yeah,
So you're like in a risky spot, if you will.
Okay.
Tillman gets a nice pick on Farah again.
I don't know, Rev.
Because this is much better. Like as you can see, Beastmaster's now fighting on point, and you can follow him without any real problems, right?
Risa has.
This is looking much better.
What bottom left?
Okay. You're getting a lot of damage. I don't really know if it was any of your healers' fault or just that they were all clumped up, but I could see that you want to go in there. Nice shot by the Widow.
How? No.
Not really much you could have done there. Your like engagement was good, but Widowmaker just got like 3 kills. It's just the nature of snipers.
Why are we splitting up so much? Our Widow is not protected. We don't have a shield.
Let's
see how it plays out.
Yeah, she's close, right?
10%.
What is probably bottom left again? Let me check.
Okay, so you know that the enemy has a fixed shield now.
What about bottom left? Yeah.
Diva bombing here is risky. And unlucky. Well,
Just skip it, okay?
I'll not watch your suicide, but let's watch this for a bit, right?
Yeah,
Enemies already
I
set up a
tried
point.
to, like, I saw a second before that the fur is in there,
Yeah.
so I tried to just click them.
Ah, okay.
What about them left? Yeah.
I mean, against a comp, right? Because they're playing with Orisa, they have a fixed shield. I can see why you want to bomb the Pharah Mercy, but usually you have to wait until the Pharah uses her shift, because then she's like stuck in a linear upwards movement that she cannot really go out of. So you have to wait until the Pharah uses her shift in order to get a bomb here. Unless you want to go for the tanks, in that case you want to wait for Orisa to use her shield and then bomb right after, because in this case the Pharah can just fly away, and the Orisa can either juke with her shield or just put up a new one in a better angle. Like either way, Diva bombing them like can work, but you have to wait until they use their relevant cooldowns. In this case, Orisa's shield and Pharah shift, but neither of them were really used.
Merci.
That's unlucky, but
Lucio low.
Where's one?
you could have maybe set up the bomb a bit better there.
Oh no, I died. My bad.
Ursa one.
There's Pharah this side.
I just my best. Sometimes I'm trying to take the play.
Yeah.
Far is one.
On the left.
Oh, feels hard.
Okay, no.
I cannot res anything.
Yeah.
I only can try.
Mercy one.
I think Tilnet's gonna pop off here like a maniac, or Beastmaster got like a double kill. Oh, their Mercy kills himself.
Massive man.
You take one,
Yeah.
Do so much. I'm reloading.
get the Lucio.
Stand point. Hog one.
Tilnet gets
Hog-
Trey, yeah.
hog no.
You eventually kind of frag out the fight, but it was not really ideal.
Nice.
Flash mines. Okay, I need some healing before anything.
I just wanted to quick come back.
I'm just gonna hide here on the left side. They don't see me yet.
Did they use barrage?
So I don't know if you're saying it, but you can tell
They
Beastmaster
might
now, like,
have
hey
it,
dude,
yeah.
I'm not in mech, you have to be careful, I
I think
cannot
they're going
go
right side.
aggressively with you.
I'm looking at them. They're going
Okay.
left. They're going left.
Uh,
No, they're no.
what a fall left on the says.
So in this case, Beastmaster's really far up front, and you're like
Yeah,
not
no.
able to help him. And I kind of, okay, you get the pick here, but now you kind of see the same thing. Hammond still has his mobility, and you had to use basically all your cooldowns and resources again, like no shift, no E, and most of Matrix is gone. So you had to go in like really deep, and use all your resources, and probably Hammond will just get out again. So you're like in a bit of a risky spot, and you lose your mech again, yeah.
Rod.
Yeah, they're falling back. I'm hit.
We did the left side, the mega.
Tilnet gets a good pick again.
Orisa alpha.
Ursa one.
The hog is used.
Roadhog.
Maybe dropped.
Lucio.
Lucio ulted. No beat.
You got your mech back, that's nice.
Widow has sidelines.
Widow's dead.
I got the
Rest of
Ursa.
that, nice.
Our widow.
Pharah discarded.
I'm coming.
This is really good in this case. Like,
I'm
Widow.
okay, let's rewind it for like a few seconds again. It doesn't end up working, but the initial setup was good. What did you really like about how you guys attacked the Mercy
No
here?
beat.
just keeping their widow has sidelines.
Widow's dead.
I got the Ursa.
Our widow.
Pharah
Okay, so we see the Mercy standing here, right? Your Pharah's flying over it.
discarded.
I'm coming.
Get like a bit of damage in. And this is what I really like to see. Like, you just get a bit of damage on the Mercy, and then you use your cooldowns when she commits her cooldowns.
Pharah's dead.
So as you can see, the enemy Mercy uses her Guardian Angel, and then you go into chase. Like, it was unlucky that you lost some people there,
Keep them there.
but
kill 'em,
you do
go
eventually
for
get the
it.
kills. Maybe the Diva one was not needed there, because you got like 4 kills or something.
Kill
But
the
you were
Yeah,
getting low
but
on
I
mech.
was low on mech.
Yeah.
Well, like, the way you attack Mercy there was pretty good. Like, you use
gonna
Fire to
hide
get
in
some
the
pressure on her,
opposite
and when the Mercy's a bit
I
damaged
got-
and you use your Guardian Angel, then you go into chase. Whereas in the previous, like in previous fights in this map, you oftentimes had to use your shift just to follow Beastmaster around, without really getting the kills you needed.
Tell me where they come.
This last one was
I have
good.
Minefield. Don't go here. Vera, get out of here. I'll survive.
No, I wanted to check for you if they're coming.
I have third person's perspective. I can see. Oh, they're behind. They're left side. Inside.
Okay, so now you see him going in. You have to tell him to
Minefield.
drop to the low ground, because there's no way you can help him, like, going in that
Go
deep.
inside, then point in house.
This is good. You can help him
House.
still.
I'm gonna barrage.
So I don't know if Beastmaster, like, booped him into here,
Is he dead?
Far is
but, it's
No,
very
no,
fortunate
no,
that
he's not booked. They just
they walk down.
took this, took this and
That's quite lucky for him then, because he was going in like a bit alone again,
Make it.
and you were doing the right thing by dropping to the low thingy there. So like dropping into the little low ground besides the point, that was really good, because then you could at least help him a bit. And it was a bit fortunate the enemy eventually decided to drop there. But what I noticed in this round is that you oftentimes had to use your cooldowns to just help Beastmaster around. And as soon as you guys cap the point...
It's actually not my problem, right?
Sorry?
I mean, it's actually not my problem. We just need to communicate more with Beastmaster.
It's more team problem, yeah, not an individual problem. At least this map, for sure.
So what do you got by the end of this match for me as an off tank? It's just Zarya cooldowns, like berries.
I would look to identify a bit better where like your team's strengths are, because in your Zarya round on Nepal Village, you oftentimes use your bubbles a bit too early.
Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah, I know about this.
Besides that, just like with D.Va sometimes you were a bit greedy, if you will, in expending your cooldowns. Like you oftentimes went in quite aggressively, which is not just your own mistake, I would say. But I would say set up your dives a bit like cleaner. That's not just up to you, also up to Beastmaster, but you were kind of like going with it and funneling into the Reinhardt Zarya, which is very risky. And also on the last map, Shrine, you lost your mech quite a lot of time still, so be a bit more cautious of that. Those like the main
Well,
things.
I had no barrier to play around, so
yeah.
I don't know.
And then you have to play extra careful. So you've got a tiny bit of footage from Lijiang, I see.
Yeah, I forgot to
I don't know, I think we should
start
follow
to
the
record,
Okay.
so
Farah wouldn't do anything here. It's too
Okay,
close
so I know
space.
you're playing against the Mei here.
You can fly outside.
You have Brigitte, you probably have Goat's Comp, don't you?
yes.
Okay. So if
We're
you're playing
gonna
against
get
Mei and
walled against
Junkrat, what do you need in order to engage onto them?
Junkrat?
Yeah, like against our comp with Mei and Junkrat, what do you need in order to engage onto them?
Well, I think speed.
Definitely.
And to be honest, I'd swap one guy to Farah.
You could do
I
that,
don't know.
but like supposing you want to run the Goat's Comp, what would you need in order to make that work against this team, the enemy team?
Maybe get all damage, like minimize damage from Junkrat.
Exactly.
And yeah.
So you would need basically your tank resources, but moreover, you need your bubbles here. And preferably, you'd want D.Va to bait the enemy Mei wall. In this case, you're the first to go forth, and you get walled without a self bubble, and then you're kind of
Because I don't know,
they
like,
juked you.
Yes, I was like, what the fuck? I was sure that we were pushing at least 3.
I'll touch.
Yeah, it's like,
So yeah, against our comp, you definitely need like D.Va to bait the enemy Mei wall and then fly out. And if you're going to be like the first to touch, you'd have to use yourself. Like you have to have yourself able to counter the freeze. This is going to be PogChamp. I've already seen this.
get it, guy. He's one. He's here. Oh, we got it.
It's a good graph, but like it's desperation mode. Like following up here is very hard.
I just
Still disconnected. Unlucky.
All purple, kill them.
Jack one, okay.
Run. Hey, got you.
Kill them, Armor.
I thought he got tilted.
Yeah.
I get this. I
No,
get
he
it.
just
You're
disconnected.
frozen. Amazing.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean you got this?
Okay, so you lose the first round. Unlucky.
didn't say anywhere.
But yeah, like if you're playing against Mei with a comp like yours, you definitely need your tank ability. So you need D.Va's Matrix and Shift, and you preferably want both Zarya bubbles just to counteract the Mei wall.
So I'm on Tracer.
Okay, so you're playing Zenyatta, Farah Mercy, Winston D.Va probably.
Haven't here.
And
Yeah,
that's
Winston
Tracer.
Diva, and our classic dive looks like Farah and Widowmaker, and everybody else is on the same positions.
Ah, okay. But in this case, you're playing with Tracer, right, instead of Widow?
Well, yeah, this map we're like starting with Tracer and then
Could work
swapping
here as
to
well.
Widowmaker
Okay.
Same crew.
if needed.
Yeah.
I mean, we could try if we agree on it.
Stay on the monkey.
I have no idea what you just said.
Stay on there.
What I heard was something about setup.
Okay, so you're playing against
They have
Lucio,
a-
Farah Mercy again.
Yeah, with Lucio.
So, and Tracer. Okay, so you've kind of got the same scenario as the first round. Who's going to be your dive target?
Winston usually.
Either Winston or D.Va, yeah. So, what you want to do in this case probably is because they have Lucio and they don't have Zenyatta, you do have more damage overall than they do. So we're gonna probably focus on getting Discord Orb on tanks and then fighting those.
Yeah. We're just waiting to armor. We'll Discord one of them. But I'm not sure if it's gonna happen now.
Oh wait, they have Genji, I see actually. Good trade. So this is pretty good, like, it's unlucky the Beastmaster gets killed, but like the countdown here for the dive is good. Like I said, I would have gone for the, oh, I think the enemy's running like full dive actually, aren't they? Genji Tracer.
21.
Yes, full dive.
Okay, in that case, you'd probably have to protect your Zen a lot with counter dive. So, like I said, you can still focus the tanks, but you have to be like very passive in how you engage. In this case, Beastmaster did go a bit deep, like deeper than he should have, because you guys don't have the mobility to follow up compared to what they have. Unlucky. Post bomb juice, this is fine.
I am so broad. Yeah, I am so broad. I'm monkey on bubble.
Mercy's on the right. If you can, okay, if you can like force her to fly, we can kill her then.
Trace the left side on the bridge.
You can see it as well. Okay, where's the Mercy? I don't see it.
Main, she's half, she's low.
Yeah, we'll try to
This is good, you're going for the Mercy, she's low, that's fine.
We can't see you, we can't help you, we can't help you. I'm dead.
One down. It's kind of unfortunate, but I could see why you'd want to go for the Mercy there if she was kind of low. They just protected her very well. And I think Beastmaster didn't really quite see the Mercy yet.
Don't you dare spam voice lines. Son of a bitch.
I'll try to stick the Mercy.
Yeah,
I need to follow there.
We'll wait for your signal.
She is at the
pillar on point now.
Okay.
this commercial thingy.
Unlucky.
I don't even know how the fuck I died.
So remember the last time I reviewed you guys, I spoke about dive comps and how quick some heroes can get value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, if they're playing Genji Tracer, they can probably get their value in quicker than your Pharah can get a kill. So you have to either like hit some really clutch shots, or you have to play a bit more defensively, simply because they can get more, like they can get quicker value. Using Default there, it would have been a clutch play, but either way you were 2 down, so I would not have used it there.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to see your signal.
I just to make sure that nobody will pick. Nobody else will pick.
That's it, but like
And
they don't really have
hopefully
anything to
kill
pick you.
somebody.
Yeah, but like there wasn't really anyone to pick you off because they had Genji Tracer and Winston Diva, so it was not like a Widowmaker or a Pharah that could boop you off or pick you off. Like I said, it would have been like a clutch kill, but since you were 2 down, it would have been very risky to just consider ulting there. Like I would have rather have you save it for end of fight rather than when you're regrouping.
No,
So this is good, protecting your Pharah.
I got you.
We got fucking booked.
Yeah. I mean, they should did protect Pharah for a bit, that's good. She's one.
And I lost her for a second.
Yeah.
I found her.
She's flying. I got her.
Okay.
So
So in this case, you're not following what Beastmaster is attacking, it seems.
Yes, it was stupid, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
Just in general, it seemed your target focus as a team was a bit off anyways here. Because one person was attacking the Tracer, one person was attacking Monkey, and one was attacking Diva. That was a bit messy
Nobody
there.
killed that Mercy, for fuck's sake, it took 10 seconds.
Yeah, but what could we do, I guess, is what is Mercy.
The
She was
problem
flying,
is,
like, all across the map. Sorry,
Dennis
can I
was
get
rich.
some teeth?
Our
Request?
Tara
sure.
is shooting from the other
Thank you.
side.
Can you pause?
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.